going on, guys? Welcome back again. We're going to be working on this 240 today, and things have added up pretty quick. You know, it started out being one or two things. Now we have a car covered in parts again, so I'm going to try to knock all this stuff out real quick, trying to get this car ready for LSFEST also. So we're going to have a brake line, a line lock. Got a two-step to put in. He's got a fuel pressure gauge, and I don't remember what this other one is, to be honest with you. What is that? What does it say? Boost gauge. I don't know why, but we got a boost gauge. Got this cool, gauge pod that goes on top of the steering wheel. Cover thing. Ignition switch. Fuel pump. Got some adhesive for. Should have pulled this stuff out. Kind of forgot. Got some of these for the side windows, and I believe, stand by, I believe we got one for the trunk, the back window as well. Let's see. Yep. So we got one to go on the back window. Some kind of 20 or 30 horsepower part. I don't know. I have to calculate it later. See how much horsepower he's going to gain from this. But that's supposed to go on the back window. So, got a good bit of stuff to do. Try to knock all this stuff out. It doesn't look like a lot, but some of this stuff's pretty time consuming, especially when you get into wiring. So, got the. I guess I'll probably start with the gauges and the line lock and the two-step, try to get all that wiring knocked out, and then we'll move on to some of the other things. This is going to be in the same area, the ignition switch, so go ahead and get that stuff done, and then I'll move on to the fuel pump, and then dead last is going to be the aero upgrades. So I'm going to try to do this stuff in order of importance just in case we run out of time. So anyway, in case you guys are new and have not seen this car, this is a 1996 Nissan 240sx, and it has LS3 in it, and it's got a, I think it's a T56 transmission. It could be a 6060, I can't remember, but I think it is a 6060. But it's been lowered. It's got all new suspension on it. Did a cookie front end swap on it. A lot of work's gone into this car. The reason we're changing the fuel pump is because as soon as you turn the key off, the gauge pretty much leaks right down. And so we think that it's got a faulty check valve in the fuel pump. So as far as I can tell from testing, that should be what the problem is. And so we're gonna see if we can rectify that situation. Other than that, this is pretty much it. It's a pretty nice little car.
Ones you'll never have to see again. Reach out and say something cruel to a stranger. I think let's see if it's still valid. This guy's dead. Well, there's 10 of us.
What's up, guys? Got a few things done to the 240 so far. We got the fuel pressure sensor put in, got all the lines ran for that, moved the gauge over here, got a two-step box put in, and the gauges you saw a few seconds ago are installed here. So when you turn the key on, they light up. Don't watch that fuel pressure gauge leaking down, because it doesn't really do that in reality. Yes, it does. So anyway, I think that looks pretty cool. So everything's all wired up, ready to go inside. Two-step works. Try that two-step out, Connor. What does this thing mean? now we got it set at 2200 RPMs, I think. So we're gonna test that out, see how it does. Still got to swap the fuel pump out, and then another thing I forgot to mention earlier. You might want to spin them around before I flip this camera over. Yeah, there you go. You ready?
Hell yeah.
Bang!
That's flat too.
What?
They said it did.
Compromising position number 47. We just swapped out the fuel pump.
Hell yeah.
Turns out it's just like the Skyline.
Yep. Fanning ass.
I'm not a... That's probably good. I'm not a hardcore Nissan guy, so I just thought that was some kind of crazy import crap. Turns out it's a Nissan crap. I don't know what to tell you. I just didn't know.
Oh, man.
I will say this though, I got the hanger in on the first try. So the practice with the Skyline helped a lot on that.
Hell yeah.
We already did the hot wire kit, what, about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We added our new relay and redid the wiring on the fuel because we were having trouble with voltage dropping out. Taking the slicks or the slick back off the car because that offset was insane. I mean, it was sticking out what, like maybe 3 inches outside the fender or the quarter panel.
Yep.
That ain't gonna work. And this thing don't have coilovers. If we had coilovers, we probably could have just raised the back up 1.5 inches or so to make sure it don't scrub, and just went ahead and ran them. But this thing's got real actual suspension in it, so you know we didn't want to mess with the geometry and have some wheel hop and stuff like that. We got it all set up right, so we just went ahead and put the Nitto 555s back on, and we're gonna see how it does. But I guess here shortly we're gonna test drive it, test the 2-step, see how it launches. It should be pretty good. I'd say enough for me to build the first table, probably. This should get us a little closer, I think.
I think I need to do something about that knock sensor on the driver's side though. Like before I got the header wrapped, they had burned the wire and threw a knock sensor failed, and when they were wrapping the header, that's when they found out the knock sensor wire had melted.
Did they fix it?
Yeah.
Because it don't have a curve.
Oh no, it don't have a code anymore. But the way, even the way it is, it's still so close to the header. What?
You can go ahead and start it.
Turn it off first or no?
No, just start it. Right, Clive.
Should have looked.
Yeah, that got the rev limiter.
PM.
Good job, buddy. Keep going.
Coming out!
Yeah, it's coming out.
Coming out.
This thing is really full. It's completely full.
Whoa.
Keep going. You're doing such a good job.
Whoa! Whoa!
Keep going.
Whoa, look at you.
No, pick it up. There you go.
Coming out now. No more coming out.
There you go. Bring the pan right here. Oh, that's high enough. We need the pan right here. Pick it up. There you go. Put it right there. Nice.
Good.
We're still getting ready for LSFEST. So I know you guys can see from all the videos, been real busy. Few kind of crazy things going on that will kind of develop throughout the video. So some stuff might not make sense now, but it will later. I built this box last night. It is 3 foot tall, 8 feet long, and 4 feet wide. And that's going to be what we're going to be putting all of our tools and parts and all that good stuff in. Now, why are we doing that? You're going to find out soon enough. So, an update on the truck as of right now, because I didn't have time to make a video of doing any tuning or anything. I might have a couple clips, but not a whole video of tuning it and driving it and all that good stuff. So, you know, I got the transmission changed out, and so right now what I'm actually doing, because I want to take a spare transmission just in case, because even though they're built, it still is a 4L70, 4L60, 65, they're all the same really. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and rip this guy apart. I got the fluid draining out of it right now. The only issue that I was having with this transmission is it felt like third gear was slipping a little bit. And that was actually my fault pretty much. Simply because when we had to scale my tune down by 60%, you know, for the fuel injection and the throttle situation, all that stuff from the other videos, it actually also dropped the transmission pressure, because when you run a speed density 3-bar tune, instead of it using the map sensor to scale the pressure on the transmission, it actually uses the fuel, the air, you know, the VE table and all that stuff to kind of judge how much pressure to give the transmission. And if that doesn't really make sense to you, if you guys remember in the older transmissions like the 700R4s and stuff like that, they had a TV cable that went up to the throttle, and a lot of people call it a kickdown cable. Some transmissions they are, but on the 700R4s and some other ones, the more that cable gets pulled, the higher the pressure goes in the transmission. So it's kind of like a reference point, so that the transmission can have control over, you know, how much power the engine's putting out versus how much pressure the transmission's getting. Because if you had maximum pressure all the time, then if you were just like driving through a parking lot or something, very light throttle, the thing was slamming the gear, you know, if it changed in a second or something. So, you know, that's not good. So, but the computer does basically the same thing. It judges how much pressure to put to the transmission by speed and input settings that I set, and then also it uses the air settings from the volumetric efficiency table, or generally it uses the mass airflow sensor. So long story, it's too late to make it short. The pressure got dropped by like 60% on the transmission. It still felt good for a while, but after I did 3 or 4 pulls, third gear started to slip a little bit at wide open throttle, and I picked up on it right away. So you know, I just went ahead and stopped driving the truck, got the transmission swapped out, and I got the settings and stuff fixed in the transmission. I figured that out pretty quick. So all we got to do to this one is put a new filter kit in it. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. I'm going to, of course, inspect everything, but I'm not going to tear this thing all the way down because it's only been probably about 4 or 5 months since the last time I refreshed it, and it's probably only got maybe 200 or 300 miles on it. Now, mind you, that's, you know, 700 horsepower miles, so that's a big difference. I don't daily drive it, so, you know, that's abuse, all abuse. But I know that I'm going to change the 3/4 clutch pack out. I'm going to inspect everything, make sure everything looks good, and basically just put a new filter kit in it and throw it in the trailer. So see what we got here. Lots of heat. That son of a bitch is warped. Wow. Steels look good. Clutches are fried. I don't know, I'm not gonna trust them. I can probably clean them up later and put them in something else. Save my main plates. Boy, that's pretty rough right there. It was still driving around too. That thing took some heat for real. That's what happens when you drop the pressure. This is what we're taking to LSFEST. How about that? Woo. Try to block the sun a little bit. How about that?
midnight.
What is going on? It's been a ridiculously long day. So, you guys have seen the, well, there'll be a little clip of the truck that we're taking to LSFEST. And I had to do some welding on the trailer, set the ramps up. Did a bunch of work on the 240, been packing a bunch of stuff. So I spent probably more than half the day outside, like 95-degree heat and 4,000,000% humidity. So that tire got right out right there. But so anyway, I'm finally, let's see, it's about 11:30 p.m. This is day 3 of prepping for LSFEST. And of course I've been doing other stuff to get ready for LSFEST, but this is like legitimately like trying to get everything together and get packed. This is day 3. So I've now gotten to the point where I'm finally going to change the oil in my truck. And I've just been doing a bunch of running around. I went and picked up a couple of fuel cans. Went ahead and filled those up with E85, because where I get my E85, it's been steady around around 70, between 74 and 76%, which is pretty good for a pump. And so I figured I'd take something with me, because I don't know what I'm gonna find up there in Kentucky. So I got 11.5 gallons of E85 to take, and I think the truck's, I got about half a tank, so it'll probably be all right. I got 5 gallons of methanol. I got my, well, you guys saw, I got my other transmission freshened back up. It's in the trailer. So, trying to think what else. I don't know, we built the big box, it's on the trailer. That was fun, loading that up. So anyway, we got most of the stuff packed up in there. So what I've got at this point is changing my oil. I got a couple of little small things I'm gonna wrap up, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that up at the track. It's getting late, I'm tired. We're supposed to leave around 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna get over there around 5 and get my truck loaded. The 240 is already on the trailer. So anyway, got some tools to pack up still. I packed up a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys are used to seeing my pegboard, but it's pretty empty right now. I got a lot of AN fittings and lines, and just all the typical stuff, zip ties, and all my wiring stuff. So just in case we have any issues with anything, we hopefully will have everything that we need. We'll have jacks, jack stands, transmission hoist. Just gonna try to really be as prepared as possible. So anyway, I figured while I was actually tired or borderline exhausted, I'd go ahead and do this this little spot. So I guess the next time that you guys will see me is in the morning when we're loading my truck on the trailer. So I want to go ahead and stop rambling, get my oil changed, get the rest of the tools and stuff together, and see you guys in the morning.